As if some robot is telling me I can't do anything.
It's not easy to go an extended period of time without any sexual release.
Think of your lad.
This retreat is to help you gain deeper emotional connections.
These blue balls a real thing?
We'll find out.
Right, welcome everybody to another episode of the Love Island cast. I am one of your hosts, Chris Phelps. My co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris. It's great to be back for episode 6. The Bryce isn't right. So nice to see you. Bryce. So where do you want to start today?
I think I'm going to start, Dave, or we should start, please, with the Harry and Francesca. I think no surprise whatsoever that it happened, and it cost a lot of money, Dave, didn't it?
Well, I think, like Harry, you've been a bit premature there. So, I mean, I'm sure he did fine. Yeah. But he's ready to poke a hole in the wall. So I don't know. I mean, it was 20 grand, but do you reckon that might have been twice? 10 grand a pop?
I don't know. I tell you what I love Dave. Harry was just being an obnoxious prick. I still don't like the lad. He's just so... He's probably a really nice lad in there, but for some reason he's really playing up to the cameras and stuff. And it's when he was like, 20,000? Yeah, it's worth every minute. And Kells went, really? 20,000? Yeah, really? I thought Kells was going to shoot him.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I've said it from the off, but I've just warmed to him even more because he's such a miserable fucker, just sitting there counting the pennies that everyone else is promiscuously sort of getting rid of him. But no, Kells, he's a legend.
Yeah.
I mean, it starts off, doesn't it? Because Francesca's kind of making it clear to Harry that, things aren't done. And, Harry lays down the law. It's like, you can't be fucking around with other people. If we're going to do this, we can do it. And he seemed to be having a bit of a moment that, because of this Heart Warrior stuff that they did in the last episode, he's like, that would have been a shut door. And I couldn't help but thinking, fuck off. No, it wouldn't have been. In the outside world where you've got 7 billion people, obviously, maybe it would have been. But on this game show, there is no way, even before that Heart Warrior exercise, you would have closed the door. But whatever, they seemed to get on and they got a green light and shared a bit of a kiss there.
Yeah, big time. And I think it's one of them, though, Dave. Like, they get to go in. I was calling the hideaway, wondering it's not called a hideaway.
Yeah, let's call it that, though. Bring it back to Love Island.
Yeah, Love Island. So we'll call it the hideaway. He's a selfish prick. She's a fucking selfish prick, I suppose. Exactly the same. Same mirrored personality for me. I don't like either of them. She was... she come back, fair enough. She was happy. They'd had a bit of action. They got together. He was just really cocky then. He went like too far the other way. And I was like, oh, you smarmy get, But then also, as they're sat there, I'd mentioned to you yesterday that Hayley's probably going to be the odd one out and they're going to, she's going to turn on Hayley. I don't think she's got a fucking chance because the next minute, Lana's saying, well, we've kicked Hayley out. Let's rewind. And I thought it was quite a good twist, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't expecting that. But I guess the final thing I'll just say on Francesca and Harry, I mean, was there a single second where you had any doubt that Harry and Francesca were going to have sex?
No,
it was so fucking obvious. Now, I think Harry could have gone without, but there was no way Francesca, she was the instigator there. And there was no way Harry was putting any walls up. It was like, straight in there. So again, it validates what I was saying the other day when Sharon and Rhonda went in there. Going in the hideaway is the worst place if you are genuinely trying to be good.
Yes, because at the end... Sorry to go across you. Sorry.
No, it's fine. So again, I just wonder, because what we like or what I like is some of the twisting and turning of it, and things coming up that you don't expect. But as soon as they went in the hideaway, it was pretty obvious the way it was going to go, and it was just they were both pricks when they came back. It's like, especially Kells is there stewing and getting angry, and they're like, yeah, it was all worth it. And it's like, no, it's fucking not. But yeah, so anyway, back to your point. Haley, yeah, I'm a bit surprised that they kicked her out, to be honest, but I guess, in lieu of we've talked about Love Island where you have a public vote and everything, or you have, the Islanders voting people out. Seem like Lana's just like, you know what, you're not creating a good vibe here, so don't let your ass hit the door on the way out.
Yeah, and we'd said she had an attitude on her, didn't she? But I tell you what, she got her last dig in about them all, didn't she? Always ace.
What I can't remember now. What did she say?
Sort of like she didn't like anybody and all that. She like proper. Everyone just sat there like, okay.
So, see what I didn't notice that comment, to be honest. But what I found a bit odd, that everyone was like, the girls were there discussing it, and they were like, to Haley, and the boys were there. It's like, to Haley. It's like, this woman fucking hated the lot of you, barring Francesca. So why you're toasting her like she's your best mate who's gone out? It's bizarre. It was bizarre for me.
Yeah, I mean, and just before if you don't mind, before we talk about the new contestants, Dave, because we get 3 new ones, let's talk about another Davy Brent moment with good old Jesus Christ Matthew Superstar. Now, Matthew, we get a bit of a speech. They're all on the sofas and stuff. And Matthew gets up and goes, "Hi guys, I've just got something I want to say." And I'm thinking, Sam looked at him and went, "He's fucking going," and I went, "Yeah." But the line he come out with was pure Davy Brent fucking playbook. He went, "Sometimes the teacher has to just let go." Also, I'm thinking, what the fuck have you been teaching him in here? You did how to grow your hair? I don't understand what you've been. Not that we've seen anything. I was thinking, what an odd fucking thing to say. That was so bizarre. I just thought, you dickhead, you can go as well. And obviously he's gone now as well.
Well, I think again, this is why I should sort out the agenda, because I think we've been a bit premature here. Because did you not notice that, so one of the new girls who you said we'll get onto in a minute, it was from the conversation with her. So he seemed to have a bit of a connection with her. And, she was just talking, and then she's like, yeah, I just don't want to be here. I don't want to be talking to this Muppet. And so I think that had a big part to play in it as well, because he was just clear that I'm not connecting with anyone at here, so screw you guys, I'm going home.
Sorry, yeah, maybe I should have thought about that one day before we started talking. Not bad, So let's get back to what we're bringing in. So we've got Corey, the English lad, bit of a geezer, I believe. That's what David called him. Lydia, and who David was into and sort of followed round. And then we had Madison. Now, Madison didn't really get involved in much, Dave. She was very on the outskirts at the moment. I didn't see much from her.
Yeah, so, personality of an ironing board, hasn't she? I don't get what she adds at all. I think Lydia seems to have a little bit about her. She's a MMA ring girl. Like you say, David was well interested in her, wasn't he? She's clearly his type. But yeah, I think, and Corey, who's from Plymouth, like you say, he's got really striking eyes. I love it how, he's a water treatment engineer and part-time model, Chris.
Yeah, the old classics. So what he does is in his day job is he jumps down sewers and shovels shit, basically, Dave. That's what water treatment.
And there's nothing, we need people like that. We need people to do
that.
No, but the fact that you got a catalogue gig once, doing a bit of modelling, allows you to put down a part-time model.
Listen. Before people start thinking I'm being arrogant or being a dick, my job for 15 years has been sweeping up bus shelter glass and repairing and building bus shelters. So that was my job for 15 years. It still is part of my job. I am not slagging anybody's job off. But I went on TV on Soccer AM and I got asked by Andy Goldstein, what do you do? And what did I say? I was going to say something smart like Doctor of Glass. I went, I fit glass. And my whole family to this day still take the fucking piss out of me for saying I fit glass. They absolutely like, why the fuck did you say that? You think how outgoing I am? I went, I don't know. I said, I just said it. I thought I was being funny, and it just like went down like a lead balloon, and they all say it. Someone says to me who doesn't know me, "What do you do as a job?" And you'll hear one of them go, "Fit glass." I'm like, "Shut up now, you know what I mean?" So,
Well,
I
I thought, sorry to cut across you, Chris, but I thought you were going to say, because you've done a bit of hand modelling in the past, haven't you?
whoa, let me, yeah, that's what I was building up to.
All right,
You just
okay.
told me I'm being premature. Now I'm
Sorry, just
so.
shot my load all over the place there.
Yeah. Thank
Apologise
God
for
you're
that.
miles away. Yeah. So I did do a bit of modelling, David. I did a bit of hand modelling as an electrical engineer, if you don't mind. So I could put down what I've done a bit of extra. I have done modelling where you've seen my face as well. I am no oil painting, Dave, but I could definitely throw in there Chris Phelps model. Not really. I mean, he's a better looking lad than me, but you could just do anything, Dave, and be a model. It's absolutely fucking nonsense. So, you know.
But I tell you what, old Chloe, for the third time in this short series, seems to be quite taken with him. So, we'd seen it with not David. Was it David? No, it was. It was David, wasn't it? And
David,
then
yeah.
we
Yeah.
saw it with Bryce, and then she just switches ahead. She's all in, and then she's not. But then she seems to really have eyes for Corey right now.
Yeah, and £3 down the drain again, straight in there. I think they look sweet. I tell you what, all within this section actually. So she ends up kissing him, doesn't she? And he can tell he's really into her, and she's like, I love the fact that they put that the what she's really thinking on the captions.
Yeah, it's good that.
It's like, who you into? And it's like, you better say me. And everything she did with her body language just replicated what they were saying. She was saying like her inner monologue. I thought it was really, really good. But when she went to see Bryce, Dave, I've got a problem with this. I've got a big problem with this scene. So Bryce is just conveniently lay on the beach, right? So have you picked
Looking
up on it?
longingly into the sunset, into the distance.
Yeah, shirt open, sat there. He's on the bed, and he's like, he's contemplating life. And she comes over, and like when they used to do, what TV show was it where they used to go dun 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 dun, and he used to flick the screen to different people dead quick. Like as if like you were looking dead quick, and he go dun dun dun. I can't remember the bloody film is or the TV show. That
I
just makes
don't
no
know.
sense.
You
That's
thinking
all.
Days of Our Lives, soap opera or something like that?
No. Like when the camera comes onto someone's face dead quick and then pans to someone else. Oh, fucking hell, that. Forget it. Anyway, what happened was the camera panned to Bryce and Chloe about 5 times in about 10 seconds. But when you're looking at it, standing back, and they kept panning out as they were talking, that scene was shot about 6 or 7 times because Bryce has got a cameraman behind his head as Chloe's talking. Then when she's talking, she's got a cameraman behind her head. Then they pan out from about 20 yards away and they're talking. And I said to Sam, I said, this is bullshit. And Sam's going, what? I said, it's so fake, that scene, because they've obviously had to film it 5 or 6 times to get all the camera angles. I don't know whether you picked up on it, but it was so fucking fake. I was like, they've definitely redone this. Whatever she said, she's had to keep saying, because the cameraman, where the camera was on Chloe, you picked the cameraman up behind Bryce, and I was like, oh, this is fucking bollocks. I must admit, that really annoyed me. I don't know if you picked up on that.
I didn't, but I mean, they do have zooms, which is, they could have zoomed in from far away, but I'm trying to replay the scene now in my mind's eye, and it does seem, yeah, when you've got the camera on Chloe and then it switches to look the other way, you're expecting a camera dude to just be stood there with a
Yeah.
camera, aren't you?
Yeah. And like you say, they
Yeah.
could have been zoomed out, so I could be completely wrong. So, because of me being a bit of a dick, but it just felt so fake and staged. That's the only. I mean, there's been plenty of this, I'm sure. That's different. Now, Dave.
But I think this is a guy who basically tells everyone who wants to or who can't close their ears off quick enough that he sleeps with a different girl every night, and Chloe approaches the conversation like she's going to break his heart, kind of thing, and I'm just thinking, really? So I mean, that's what I was focused on in that whole scene. So. He's not asked at all. The only reason he's asked is because he has to make a new connection with someone else. But apparently he does that every 24 hours, so he shouldn't give a fuck. And
That's true.
again, before we move on, I You say that Corey's really into Chloe. Something that the look of this guy, it looks like he's just started shaving, so he's got a little bit of a tash thing going on there. This guy just looks like a fuckboy to me. And when all three of them came in, they sort of made noises that they don't give a shit about the rules. And they've probably been told by the producers to go in there and just mix things up a bit. And so, yeah, I'm not having it. She's just the one who's laid it on thick at the start. And, he got a kiss on his first episode kind of thing. I'm not sure he's into her.
Right, here we go. So as we head into sort of the last couple of episodes, Dave, I still don't know what's going on. I think by Kel's reaction is basically they're going to split the money between everybody. But at the moment, unless something changes. Now, I have got a request from Sam, Dave. My wonderful wife has requested that myself and you debate this. Now, this is obviously probably a bit too intellectually challenging for myself and you, Dave. And I know, obviously, you do a lot of reading that, and I'm not trying to be funny, but can you understand, or can you explain to me why, this is Sam's words, the fucking women are wearing these bras with the boobs hanging out at the bottom?
You know what? Jade made the same comment as well. And I don't get it. It's weird. I mean, I don't know. And I tell you what, Chloe, in particular, looks like she's wearing, about 4 sizes too small for her. It's as if it's not as if the bikini top is supposed to be designed like that. It's just like it's just too small and it looks horrendously uncomfortable. But what about the dental floss that they're wearing for bikini bottoms as well? I mean, there's nothing there really, is there? I mean, I didn't think they wore a lot on Love Island, but fuck me, this lot take it to a new level.
They do, to be fair. I just find it. I must admit, Sam asked me in one of the first episodes, and I did the typical bloke answer and pretty much didn't answer. And she went, "Well, you're probably all right, aren't you?" And I started laughing. And then as it's gone on, all the girls are doing the same. Rhonda has, Nicole, the Geordie Irish girl, Dave, my friend.
The Geordie, from
Sam thinks
Cork.
that's hilarious. Anyway, she does sound like a Geordie from a distance if you don't have the volume on.
Oh, put your ears hands over your ears.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with it. I look, if it was me personally, a bit of side boob, Dave, does nobody any harm, but not that. I don't think that's a trend. It just looks like she's, like you say, she's got like a little sister's bikini on or something, because it just doesn't look attractive.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen Naked Attraction, Chris?
Only the odd episode, Dave. Not properly, but the odd episode.
Just when Sam's out drinking.
On the series link. Yeah.
So I think for me, it is a fucking weird show, and I've caught the odd episode just because it is so fucking weird. But a lot of the times, Chris, less is more.
Yeah.
And in particular when these guys, they have that initial kind of flirtiness. We don't know how long this is. It's 8 episodes, but are they there for a week? Are they there for 2 weeks? We've got no concept of time at all. And I just think, a bit more fucking bikini would be better in this scenario. Because honestly, for me, it's too much.
Yeah, I think it's one of them. And like they say with men are visually stimulated. So obviously, things like that, it might initially you go, fucking hell, she's got boobs hanging out. But then once they're there, it's like, just, show a bit. I think just show a bit of class, Dave. I do agree. Maybe it's just because we're older. I don't know. But for me personally, it doesn't really do much for me. And I'm not just saying that because Sam's going to be listening, Dave.
No, I don't think, and I think that's a good word. Actually, I think it's the class of it, isn't it? And not in a snobby way, but just let's put it this way, Chris. It's not for me.
No, not for me either. It works. It works for people. That's fair enough. Now, Dave, the Queen is back. Dave, can we all hail the Queen, please? Because
all hail.
All hail. We've had an email from Kayla.
Nice.
And she's put 2 Hot To Handle episode 6. She's put, hey guys, the Queen of emails is back. Hope you guys are doing well in quarantine. I'm so glad you guys are covering more shows. I just wanted to give my opinion on Hayley. She has soured and not been a part of the group, but I don't think she should have been kicked off The producers could have done more to use her for drama. And if Lana could tell the group that Francesca and Hayley kissed, why didn't Lana tell the group that Harry was lying? Which is exactly what we'd sort of talked about. She's right,
Yeah.
Dave. That's right. Maybe I don't think as badly of Hayley because she was defending a woman that people chose not to believe, based solely on choosing to believe a man and the woman being jealous of her. Not to say Francesca is great because she's not, she's selfish, but the show is just not holding anyone accountable for losing the group money or the men being babies and pouting because every other men are interested in someone they like. The concepts of the show is great, but it doesn't have enough episodes to really get good drama or entertaining people. Thanks for podcasting during this time, Kayla. So thanks, Kayla, again. Brilliant. And thanks for the email. You had to get one in this series. We could have actually dethroned you if you'd not sent us an email. But I think she's right, Dave. That's the one thing I would say with this format. I reckon, realistically, you probably do. We're running at 8 episodes, aren't we? I reckon we could probably get 13, 14 episodes out of this. Definitely.
Easily. And you know what? We sort of discussed this concept, didn't we, when we were covering the Love Island USA? Because that was over 4 weeks. And it all felt a little bit rushed for us.
Yeah.
You know, they were playing all the same beats as the UK, but because it was more of a compressed time frame, it didn't give you enough chance to really invest in the different contestants or different characters that you've got in there. And so this is even worse, isn't it? You know, it's like 8 episodes, and you know there's 8 episodes. So I don't know, it just doesn't give you enough time. So I agree. I think a longer format would definitely work better. But I mean, picking up on some of the other things, I guess the thing about Lana not calling Harry out, I mean, I'm sure I mentioned it a couple of times. It irritated me that he just got away with it scot-free. But they asked, so I think it was Matthew, wasn't it? Asked Lana the specific question about who gave us, who did the kiss to give up the money. And then he went through like Sharon and Rhonda. And then I think he said, was it Harry or something? And then, he knew who it was, but he asked the specific question and Lana responded to it. It wasn't as if Lana just gave that information up freely. So I guess that's the difference, isn't it? So they never asked Lana the question, who instigated the kiss? Was it Harry or was it Francesca?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the only real difference. So, but you know what? It's great, Chris, when we get that female perspective in, because me and you can sometimes, we say it, we're blokes, so we see things a particular way. We try and be as balanced as we can, but sometimes we can't help it. We see things as blokes. I completely get what Kayla's saying about, maybe, having more empathy for Hayley's position because she was sticking up for the girl. And we'd said about it wasn't on, the way the group turned on Francesca and just seemed to accept Harry's story, but then quickly went on to, well, Hayley's pretty horrible. The way she was behaving, not so much in that moment, but she just carried on being quite horrible after. So, no, I think, to be fair, hands up, that's a good point. I can see that.
Yeah, exactly. So, Dave, another great episode, and it is heating up. Let's hope we get some proper drama of these next 2, and it goes out in a proper bang this series, so we can get some more on Netflix. I have enjoyed watching this. It is something different in the lockdown as well, so it has been pretty tasty. Anyway.
And usually, Chris, if we're doing Love Island, then again, that's been usually more of a 6-week slog. This has been more of a 100-meter sprint, hasn't it, this one? So we're 2 episodes from the end. Now is normally the time you try and fucking set me up for the next series.
Well, David, it's funny you should say that.
I fucking knew it.
I have got a series in my back pocket, Dave, but I think I'll discuss it with you offline before I commit because I get told off for throwing you under the bus today for doing stuff a la US Love Island as we do in the UK one simultaneously. So let's discuss it offline and we may have an announcement what we're going to do next.
That'd be cool because I think we've got about 4 or 5 episodes left of Bachelor. So if you're watching The Bachelor South Africa, head over to Bachelor Banter, and we're covering that. So we're in the final straight for that as well. So we're going to quickly run out of reality TV, and again, fuck knows when we're going to get new shows. So I'm just hoping there's a backlog of stuff in Netflix that they can carry on releasing, or else we're going to be on reruns, aren't we?
Well, Dave, there is always the reruns on Prime of the original Love Island series. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's just.
Yep.
And on that bombshell, Dave, if you want to get in contact with us at Love Island Cast on Twitter, the loveislandcast@gmail.com. And as always, drop us a review if you can on your podcast catching app. So, Dave, thank you so much, my friend. And I'm just going to go and make sure I ignore all your messages you're going to send me in a minute, calling me all sorts of names for throwing another show in there. So I'll see you next time.
See you next Tuesday.
Good one, Dave. Good one.
All we've got to do is just keep our pants on.